You know what it is, podcast episode 2. I think I'm gonna run with Smack City, honestly. Even when I was uploading other videos, people were putting Smack City, hashtag Smack City in the comments, so I feel like it's meant to be. So Smack City, podcast episode 2. So I had something on my mind when I first woke up today, right? That I wanna get this first. I wanna get out this first. My guys, think of a time right now, right, where you've been friend zoned. We all had that happen before. You lying if you say nah, that's a fucking lie. I was talking to this girl last night on some like booty call type shit, right? Now mind you, I know she likes me and she wants me, but she was on some, you know, Andre, I don't think I can do this. You know, we're just friends. And you know what I did? Immediately stopped answering her. I think I said like, oh, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I'm gonna back up. She immediately replied. I don't even think I replied to her for like 4 days. Easily 4. Now, best believe when I did finally like get back to her, her tone was way different, right? Matter of fact, I replied, then forgot to reply again for like 12 hours just because I had shit to do, right? Like, it was a busy day. It happens. By the time I'm finally in the mood to talk to her again, right, she was on some prove you're not like every other guy type shit, right? And it was so explicit. Like, she was just flat out, I was like, prove to me, you know? And in my head, I'm sitting there laughing like, what the fuck did you just tell me? Like, it was so cute. Like, you really thought? But look. Once y'all start entertaining that shit though, is when you start digging your own grave. Cause most girls have been validated their entire lives by the men who find them attractive. Not getting in that chase trap shit or proving to yourself or trying to show her that you're different is what really shows her that you're different. You have to not do that. Because what do you think every other guy is doing? Like, my nigga, your attention is a hell of a thing. I'm gonna say that again because that's some real shit. Your attention is a hell of a thing. But then therein really lies the secret, right? There are girls you're friends with and there are girls that friend zone you. There's a difference. It's possible to have a genuine friendship with a girl and no feelings are involved, right? I think so, because experience has taught me. But then there's a girl you like that doesn't reciprocate mutual interest, right? But the thing is that usually tricks us, like us as men, is something that almost all these women do, which is mixed signals. The same shit that girl did to me, right? Like, 1 week you're on one thing, the next week you're on another thing. And how you handle those signals, I think, dictates whether you're in the friend zone or not. Or whether you're just digging yourselves deeper and deeper in that shit. In his 20s, my brother was on some like Wilt Chamberlain shit, you know, like, it was so admirable. I said, how do you get out the friend zone? He tells me, by taking yourself the fuck out that shit. And I didn't know how to like interpret that yet. I didn't get it yet. It didn't click yet. And it took me time to learn because I'm 23. Some niggas knowing how this works since high school. Y'all know, some niggas just had that like they just knew how girls worked. I actually prefer that I bloomed kind of late because I'm way cuter now than I was in high school. So better I know it now. But honestly, if you can relate to any of this, don't worry about it, my nigga. You go out there and you just keep getting friend zoned, you heard? Like, no, now I want some joke shit, for real. Keep getting fucking friend zoned. Do that shit over and over again, because you'll just learn from each time. And experiences are meant to teach us just about everything in life. So eventually, you will have your aha moment. After that, it'll be a lot more innate to you. And if you really haven't been friend zoned before, trust me, my nigga, that shit is coming one day. It's like a rite of passage as a man. Like, you cannot become a man until that happens to you. None of us can avoid it. No matter how the shit you think you are, my nigga, there is a girl out there that will do the shit to you. You probably just haven't met her yet. Funny offshoot story, actually. Look at Rihanna and Drake, right? This is a perfect example. So I read this story where Rihanna did some interview recently and she was like talking about Drake. And she was like, we're not friends. We're not enemies. It is what it is. And it deadass be like that sometimes. It deadass be like that. And you know why? Because Drake put that pussy on a pedestal. If y'all don't know what that means, please go watch 40-Year-Old Virgin. That movie's fucking timeless. But that's basically friend zoning yourself. Like, if you ever seen the speech, because she mentions it in the same like interview. If you ever seen the speech where Drake's giving her this music award or some shit, and he gets hella cringy and Drakey.
We love the music which can change styles from album to album. We love the videos which change their artistic vision from year to year. But most of all, we love the woman who hasn't changed since day one. She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old.
Can I just interject for a second? Let me just say, You are putting the pussy up on this pedestal. You're just building the pussy up, man.
What are you even talking about? Building the pussy up? What does that mean?
You making the pussy into this great big Greek goddess named Pussaliath, and what you're doing is you're psyching yourself into thinking it's some impossible feat.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm putting the pussy up on a pedestal.
Right.
That's it. It's Pussaliah, right?
Nigga just threw the pussy up on top of Mount Kilimanjaro and like tried to go get it in one instance. Yeah, you can't do that, especially on like a stage like that. You can't do that. He put it to the highest of peaks to not be able to reach it. If I was Drake, you know what I would have thought? Look at your screen right now. Like, I could leave Rihanna on red, to be honest. I think I could. Because her forehead just makes me uncomfortable. And I'm not saying she ain't bad as shit. But we just need to remind ourselves sometimes that they're human too, you get me? Don't put the pussy on the pedestal. Because as high as you put it, it's harder it's gonna be to get there and take it down. So with all that being said, let's get into the fuckery segment of the podcast today. I feel like that's basically the word that can sum this up the best. Alright, so for example, mean tweets, the worst comments I ever get, just the absurd shit that I will come across just on my timeline. So just here are some of the worst that just have caught my eye, and I'm like, there's no way I can forget that. Worn Out Shoes 11 said, dislike the video. Damn, bro, that's how we starting? Wow. Don't show yourself that much and act as if you are part of the video. The fuck? Just show the video. Shaking my head. Like, how do you even respond to that? How would y'all respond to that? Like, what the fuck? And I was just not having any of his shit that day with my reply, honestly, because I was just telling him the truth of the matter. That the fact that he can talk to me like this, it just lets me know that you could probably find his mom in the amateur interracial section of Pornhub, you feel me? Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. On some big black bull dominates blonde wife type shit, you know? That's definitely the moms of the people who comment shit like this. This dude is a stone cold hater. His girlfriend pegs him every night. Pegs me? What the fuck? What does that even mean? She pegs me. What? And look at your head. Look at your fucking... Look at his dome. Look at this. This nigga look like a black Majin Buu. That's the worst thing that you could do with me, honestly. If you're gonna say some like if you're gonna come at me in the comments, the last thing you want is to have a picture of yourself as your actual AVI. Because I will not hesitate to cook your shit, bro. Now this one is one of my personal favorites because it was actually fucking funny. You know, it's rare that somebody in the comments just lets loose a fucking roast that I'm like, wow, I can't even deny how funny that is actually. My sister laughed at this. Like, that's how funny it actually was. He said, the funniest thing about this video is how Apu talk like he black, LOL. And now, the moment I read Apu, I knew, like, that was good shit. Because even I chuckled, like, wow, I've never been called that before in my entire fucking life. And it's such a conundrum, right? Because if you've ever seen what I look like, follow me on Twitter or some shit at TheSurrealAndre. I have the wild Dominican lineup, right? I have, like, a beard with no mustache, and it leads into a blowout fade type mohawk type shit, right? The wild Dominican lineup. But people who are Caribbean can recognize what I really am, which is coolie. And then most Hispanic women, which are usually my kryptonite, when they realize that I'm black, even though I look Dominican, I suddenly can't get brought home to their abuelas, you know? Because if you know how it works, that's just disgrace on the family. Now, this dude was a super interesting case, right? It was a case of tweets. This guy was coming at my head because he said I've been making videos hating on LeBron for views. It's how he words it. His trash ass channel ain't doing numbers, so hating on LeBron will at least get him some views. Shrug emoji. Really, dude? Really? Okay. And he had a tendency of, like, still wanting to reply to some of my tweets. If you ever do notice niggas like this, I go and personally, like, just look at their tweets just to see what they talk about. And they usually are just haters. Like, they just hate on everybody. Look at their, like, replies. It's always just some hating shit. Like, I was actually curious. When I see cases like that, I really want to know why you're like this. Because this is somebody else, like, a real human being typing and pressing send and doing this. So I flat out just asked him, I was like, yo, why are you so unhappy? Like, why do you just want to dish out negative energy to people? And he simply replies, I have a small penis. And then it all made sense, honestly. Everything just clicked. Like, it totally just explained why he would be mad at the world. So then I just, you know, I felt a little bad for him at the same time. Because who else but these type of people would do shit like this and get some sort of satisfaction out of it, right? Like, life is hard for you. I ain't gonna front. But that doesn't excuse you for being just a fucking hater, you know? I just can at least empathize, because, like, if I had a small dick, I would probably just be like, you know, fuck everybody. Like, I'd probably be just like you. For the last segment of the fuckery section today, I have something that we're gonna call out of pocket. I just feel like there's a lot of times you'll come across some shit on your timeline, it's usually when I'm on Twitter, that you just see and you're like, how the fuck did you really just say that? What is wrong with you? Today's edition, since we're about to go into talking about the finals, is about LeBron James. First of all, tweets like this aren't uncommon on Twitter. If y'all don't be on Twitter, this is the shit that will just pop off, has 300, 500 likes for no reason, and you just see it on your timeline. Like, what the fuck? Big Dick James does it again. Now, just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, here's a tweet that says, LeBron fans really out here defending his dick size. And if y'all remember that game, actually, that did actually happen. LeBron's dick, like, accidentally came out while he was fixing his shorts in the huddle. Apparently, there's a video of it still on YouTube. You know, there are niggas out there that will go willingly look that up and watch it. And apparently, this is one of them. And look at what this out-of-pocket ass nigga said. He was wearing compression shorts for more than 3 hours. He was using blood in other places to play the game, so he was hella soft. No homo, but that is very big, given the state he was in. It's nuts. That's one of the funniest things I've ever read. Holy shit. You, my friend, are out of pocket. You doing too much. Delete that shit. And now, since we're already on the topic of LeBron James, we might as well finish here. And it's going to be Cavs Warriors Part 4 again, man. And it's funny because I didn't really expect anything else. I think most people coming into the season would have said again, yeah, Cavs Warriors. It's being, you know, talked about that if he could win this ring, he could just retire. And I kind of actually like that narrative. I like that it's going around because it would be so cool to see. It would be the way to go out and really do kind of look like the GOAT. Because if LeBron does beat this team, right, which he probably won't, but, you know, if he does, anything is possible, you know what KG said, they would have been better than any team Michael Jordan has ever beaten, no matter how hard the teams consistently were in the finals. This would be better than all the teams he's ever beaten. That's hands down. And then the 3-1 ring, nobody's ever done that before. I think the 3-1 ring, and if he were to beat this team and have beaten the greatest team basically of all time, that eclipses, like, however many number of rings you want to set as, like, this is the GOAT status. Like, and as far as ring legacy or championship legacy goes, I think that would really put him there. But after that, I would still want to see LeBron become the all-time leading scorer. That's when I could definitively call him the GOAT and not care about what anyone says. Because, puts it this way, I still recognize the fact that Michael has won 10 scoring titles and LeBron only has 1. So if you're telling me that LeBron could become the all-time leading scorer, that's going to eclipse 10 scoring titles. That's like, I'm good with that. I actually have never seen LeBron James play in person, and I need to fix that because we don't know how many more years of LeBron we have left, but next season, definitely when he's in Miami, I have to go to see LeBron James play. As a basketball fan, I need to have said, especially since he was in my generation, that I saw him play. You know, I want to say that the Cavs will win, like I want to speak it into existence, but I would have to be believing it while not really believing it, so I wouldn't really be believing it. So then what's the point in, like, trying to believe it? Damn, I was on some Naruto shit just now. But yeah, realistically, it's gonna be Warriors in 5. I think if the Cavs can play good enough defense to where they can go on runs while the Warriors are sloppy with the ball, they can get the possessions, but they actually have to make shots, you know? So for the most part, it is going to be a one-man LeBron army. And I do think LeBron is good enough to win at least one game by himself, possibly 2. But if it's just going to be how it's been, like, in the first round and the third round, yeah, that shit is maybe 5 max. But in my heart, I do want to see LeBron James win this shit, man, and you should too. I understand if you might want to be rooting for Nick Young in this scenario, because I do also believe if the Warriors win, I'm not mad either, because then I get to see Nick Young celebrate. So I'm not mad at that either. It's kind of a, you know, it's a win-win here. But at the same time, I feel like LeBron has earned this shit. His 15th year has been incredible. So, man, I used to be a hater, and I've seen the light. But sometimes y'all niggas are really fucking weird.
Sometimes I like slim, sometimes I like thick. Sometimes I combine and I like them slick. Them slick probably went over your head. couldn't lay up, I just went over for head. Made her change of plans when she bent over the bed, and now she on the balcony, pent over the